Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to be doing a review of the new Colourpop You're Golden eyeshadow palette. This is a 30 pan summer warm toned eyeshadow palette. I'm going to be showing you exactly step by step how I'm creating this look if you'd like to follow along. And also I will be having swatches at the end of the video in case you're interested in seeing all of these stunning shades up close and personal. So if you're interested in this palette, then keep on watching. Okay, so you guys are zoomed in so that you guys can see really clearly what I'm doing. And let's just take a look at this baby. So as I said, this is their newest Mega 30 pan palette. It is summer themed. Create the perfect warm summer look with our newest 30 pan palette. Take a dip into rich warm tone neutrals, pops of sultry blues, and a range of finishes from our signature metallics, pressed glitter, and mattes. Your own private island in a palette creates the ultimate shimmering summer look. Isn't she stunning? As I read in the description, you can see these beautiful pops of blue and like almost like teal in here. You can see the different textures. As I said, the glitter right here, some beautiful metallics, some beautiful, really warm toned, but you also do see a few pops of neutral in there. Like these three here aren't too warm. They're quite neutral. And even this one, again, swatching can definitely change my opinion on a shade, but there's some shades in here that are light enough, neutral enough that I think this is quite versatile and usable for like it's sometimes there's really warm palettes where it's like real orange based browns and you know, yellow golds, whereas there's quite a few shades in here that could be used by people that even like cool toned palettes. Like this shade here is quite neutral, like almost verging on cool. I mean, I wouldn't say it's cool, but it's definitely neutral. I'm really happy with the layout of this palette, different textures, and from first glance, I'm really happy with the color story as well. So I'm pumped. I've already primed my eyes with MAC Paint Pot. I'm actually just gonna go in with PCH right here. It is a nice cream shade. Okay, so I'm doing this specifically to show you, if you have not played with Colourpop's shadows before, they're stunning. If you've watched my channel, you will know I love Colourpop with all my heart. Most of the products I've tried from them, I've been over the moon impressed with, especially for their price point, because for 30 eyeshadows, this is only $34, which is cheaper than a lot of palettes that are much smaller than this in the high-end category. So this is definitely drugstore in my opinion, like price range wise. But what I wanted to show you was the one thing I like to warn people about is you can see where I've picked up this shade, and the mattes do definitely kick up quite a bit of product. As you can see, like that brush is loaded. I just wanted to show you so that you are aware. You want to really tap off your excess, especially if you have trouble with fallout, and that will prevent fallout. And it will also just help your shadows go on more evenly. So I'm taking this really large brush and I'm just kind of buffing it in and kind of pressing it into the eye all over. So it sets down that primer and gives us a really even base. There's not too many palettes that don't kick up any eyeshadow. There are some formulas I've played with that really don't, and they're great, but there's not some of my favorite brands. They kick up a lot of product. I don't really find that something that would like deter me from using a palette, but I like to warn people if you're not aware that that's going to cause fallout if you're not really diligent in tapping off your excess. So, you know, just go like that and you'll get rid of all the excess product that could potentially fall on your cheek if you were to not do that. You know what I mean? You might still get some fallout from certain shades, but it prevents it for sure. I'm gonna go into Covet, which is this shade right here. It is a little bit warmer than some of the other browns, but it's decently neutral. I'll have to see once it goes on, but it's like a nice soft brown, so that's gonna be a perfect transition shade. So I'm gonna pop this in the crease. As you can see, they're just so pigmented. I love Colourpop so much. This palette's really pretty. This definitely screams summer to me, but it's not like over the top. And I like that it is different. Like Colourpop's good because they come out with so much product. They are really great at like creating very different products. Like The Bare Necessities is another 30 pan palette that's a little bit more warm toned. And it is a little bit more on the like very natural everyday glam, whereas this has some more pops of like there's this coral in here. There's the pops of blue. A little bit more fun, but it's different enough. It's not like the same, which I like. Okay, so I applied that in the crease there. I'm gonna take my brush with no additional product. There'll just be that excess on the brush, and I am going to start to buff those edges in circular motions so that we have no harsh lines, and definitely on par for Colourpop's formula as they typically are. I don't think I've ever really had an eyeshadow palette where I was like, whoa, this, you know, the formula is not there. I don't think I have had an experience like that with Colourpop. Maybe color scheme wasn't my favorite. I've had that, I know. So I'm really making sure there's no harsh lines. As you can see, everything just blends out seamlessly. I'm gonna take Hidden Gem. It's just a slight bit darker than the cream shade I used before. And I just want something very light to really just diffuse those edges and create the most soft and beautiful seamless blend. And not all cream shades are good. You know, sometimes you might look at a cream shade and think, well, cream's a cream, you know what I mean? But sometimes you will get a shade like this, or even like the first shade, and if you use it to help blend out your shadow, it sometimes can actually make things worse and almost make things look muddy and ashy. But if you have a good quality one, it really just diffuses those edges, blends into the shades, and creates, as I said, that seamless, beautiful, soft blended look. And as you can see, I think we've got a good one. Let's take, how do I want to do this? Let's take the shade Prime Time. And that's like a pretty neutral, I'm kind of going for like maybe a little bit more neutral today. I'm taking this on my Smashbox shadow blending brush. And let's pop that in the crease as well, but not taking it obviously as high up. We're doing a little more precise application. You can even put your brush this way. So then that way the precision is going down, but then the tapered edges of the brush are also going to help blend it upwards. So it kind of blends while you're applying it all at the same time. And I am going to bring it down here as well, following the same shape I did with the softer brown, but we're just obviously bringing a more definition. I love a good neutral brown eye. Like I love doing like this crease, like this exact kind of look in the crease, and then just popping on like a gold, or to mix it up, pop on a champagne on the lid, or to mix it up, do a like rose gold. They're like, it's just my favorite. I love it. And you know what? I've been doing quite a few glam looks lately. I think we're going to keep it not necessarily completely natural. Like we're still going to pop some metallic. That crease is dark enough, but I don't want to go like all out. Because for summer, I think a little bit more like ease, like just like super simple. It's just kind of the look that I'm going for today. Okay, let's go back in with the fluffier brush and just blend those edges out. I think I want to bring a little bit more definition into the outer lid though. So I'm actually going to take a flat shader, like just like a flat brush. This is you know what, I've said a bunch of times on this channel that I was going to tell you guys what number this is. There it is. It's an E60, guys. I finally told you. So if you watched my channel before, I use this brush quite frequently. I love my Sigma brushes, but I have like, I'll show you guys what I mean. It's like there's a line just from like things, I don't know, it rubbing around on other brushes or whatever. I didn't know what number it was, and I kept saying I was going to write it in the description. I think the last time I said that, I don't know if I did or not, so I apologize. But now I know it's an E60, and I'm just taking this brush, it's flat, I'm pressing this same shade Prime Time, that like chocolatey brown that I used in the crease. I'm just applying it and the outer quarter of the lid to deepen that as well. So now I'm just gonna buff that edge out. An easy peasy lemon square. Stunning. These shadows are so good. I'm gonna go ahead and do this eye and I'll be right back. All right, we're matchy now. So let's go ahead into some of these beautiful, beautiful metallics. Okay, what I'm gonna do is take Must Stay. It is actually a sequin. I'm gonna take it on this same Sigma brush, tap off the excess for sure. I just want to press it where I ended kind of the chocolatey brown. So it's gonna start the glitter but be very fine, and then it'll kind of go into the metallic, so it'll almost blend in to the metallic shades, so it's like super seamless as well. It's a really subtle pop, but it actually almost blended that shade out as well. It looks really nice. Now let's go in some of these just stunning shades. Like, oh my goodness, so pretty. Love, love, love. Actually, that helps me out. I'm gonna do this one. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the shade The Palisades. It's described as a metallic icy chocolate. I'm gonna press that in the center of the lid, kind of connecting it to that sequin shade. I'm gonna go into about 3/4, so like overlap over the sequin. Got a little bit of fallout from that, which is normal for metallics, especially when you use your finger. Now let's do Illusion, which is described as a true metallic taupe, which is stunning. It's this shade up here. Isn't that just beautiful? Okay, I'm gonna take that and press it on the inner part of the lid, overlapping a little bit onto the last metallic we just used. This is like, oh, one of my favorite looks I've done in a while. I haven't done a look like this in a long time because, as I said, I like to play around. But man, these are my favorite looks. This like gold champagnes and browns were like the only thing I used to do on my eyes because it's just so beautiful. I just love it. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of Prime Time on that chocolate brown and just reinforce the crease so that we didn't lose any of that depth. Just a little bit and just really lightly, and then it's just gonna help blend everything together. One last little blend for good measure. Now let's do the lower lash line and then the inner corner and we're done. I'm gonna take a smaller brush, which this is the Sigma Small Tapered Blending, which is an E45. And I'm gonna take Prime Time, again, the same chocolatey brown, smudge it along the lower lash line. Let's do a little bit of like a smoked out look. Bring it almost all the way. Okay, that was a dirty brush. That's a little bit embarrassing. I was like, why is this shade so dark? I had black on that of all things. Cool, cool, cool. I'm just gonna go over with a clean brush to kind of eliminate as much of that as I can. Cool, nice, just what I like. I'm gonna take a flat short brush with Prime Time and I'm gonna press it along the lower lash line. I'm just kind of patting it for now because I do want a bit of like a smoked out lower lash line. Smashbox blending brush. I'm actually not gonna add any product because I applied more than enough with that brush. And let's just soften those edges. As I said, I'm bringing it quite low because I want that like smoked out look. Now let's take the shade Covet, which was that soft brown we used, and let's soften that and kind of blow it out a little bit more. That's like a real blown out lower lash line, but I like it. And because it's like soft browns, it works. And then let's take this larger brush with Hidden Gem, diffuse those edges. Now I'm going to take the shade Palisades, which was that like darker metallic, this one right here. Taking it on a brush, I might need to wet this actually because this isn't maybe the best brush. So I am gonna wet it with my MAC Fix Plus in the center. So I'm just kind of copying what I did on the lid. I'm doing the same on the waterline, the lower lash line, I mean, sorry. Now let's go into Illusion, and we're most definitely gonna wet that guy. Let's apply that. Okay, now I'm gonna take the same brush. I'm just gonna kind of wipe the excess off. And I'm gonna go into these shades, which one's better? Ooh, that's pretty. Ooh, I got it. Okay, let's do the inner corner first, and then I'm gonna show you what I just discovered. Okay, let's go into the shade Salty, which is this one right here. wet it because I just love to do that for the inner corner always. And I'm just gonna kind of circular motions in the inner corner right here. Most stunning ever. Oh, I love that. I can't get enough of this palette actually. Beautiful. Okay, I think that we're done with the look for sure. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you that shade. I'm definitely gonna use it because it's so pretty. Okay, so I just swatched this shade. It's called Jet Set. And what's so unique about this shade is it's actually a little bit more of like a sheer shade, which in a way some people are like, oh, it's not pigmented. And believe, I'm not like judging you because I've done the exact same thing, but because from experience, these shades are just stunning. Pressed over top, it just adds a like almost a little sparkle because it has a little bit more of like a glittery formula. I don't know why I did two, but do you know what I mean? It has a bit of that like kind of fleck of glitter in there, and I like that just kind of laid over top of the metallic. It just adds a little extra zhuzh. I don't know, I really like it. It doesn't do that much, but again, it's kind of one of those shades that like, okay, maybe doesn't make the world of a difference, but just it's that little extra something that really makes it beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do mascara because I want to keep this, as I said, this look very simple. So I'm not going to do liner, I'm not going to do false lashes, I'm just going to pop on some mascara and we have a beautiful everyday summer look. So I will be right back with the finished look. Hey guys, this is the finished look. I am over the moon about this look. I know it's not the most like wild, creative, glam look, but I'm so impressed with this palette and there's just so much more I could do with it. I love the quality of Colourpop, so I'm just automatically was excited about this palette. The quality pulled through. I really love that there's so many different variants of brown. You have your really, really light cream shades. You have your really soft browns. You do have some neutral options in there, so it's not all super warm. Even the warm tones aren't like overly orangey, although you do have those like down here if you want that for those like sunset looks. You do have quite a few darker options, as I said, for more depth, more glam, for evening looks. You have darker metallics that you can like create more smoky looks with. You have some sequins in there, but then you also have these beautiful, beautiful metallics. Like there's this one here that I didn't play with. Look at that gold, guys. Come on. So really, really, really pretty. There's a beautiful like peachy gold metallic. Again, another beautiful one right here. So their metallics are stunning. I like the color story of this palette. I think that I like this one better than the Bare Necessities because it has a lot of what the Bare Necessities palette offers, but more. So it has all those soft browns. It has all the like the champagne, the bronze, the gold, the really beautiful metallics, and it gives you more than enough to do a ton of different everyday, super simple, like even more simple than this, but you can also have the darker browns to go more glam yet still natural. But it also has those pops of really warm tones, the coral, the peachy metallic, the kind of terracotta orangey shades. And then it has those pops of blue. So I definitely think that I like this better than the Bare Necessities palette. Basically what I would say is if you like the color story of this, you won't be disappointed. I definitely recommend it. Every day I'll recommend. I love this palette. Really love the look I created. And yeah, that's basically my final opinion. And I will most definitely be using it this summer. And I'm excited to play around with those, you know, like this coral shade here is like the matte coral. Look at how pigmented that is. This one actually I'm interested in swatching. It's the Sporty, which is the blue. Really pigmented. Excited to play. I'm definitely, impressed. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you want to see swatches of the whole palette, keep on watching. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. you.